Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Cross. Last time we showed off the path from Guile's perspective and choosing not to save Kid. This time, I timed things poorly. This does give me an opportunity to show off something that I have been meaning to demonstrate for a while. When you go to attack, you have to wait for the attack to finish before you select your next attack. Otherwise, well, this will happen. I'll just sit there and spam things over and over again. You'll end up not necessarily doing what you want. So I'm just going to spam before the thing finishes. And you'll notice on the left there, it kind of shows I did a single, like a weak attack, and then 3 strong attacks. Sometimes it doesn't even do that. Sometimes you'll get multiples, like multiple ones in there, and it's just really weird, and you end up missing with a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's just always go slow with it, and you should be fine. That's one thing that I've neglected to go over. I just wait until the attack finishes, then the percentage updates, and then we can finish things off. Push bash for you. And you can indeed take them out before they get a chance to summon things, which is rather nice. Alright, we finished off that guy. Now we can go on in here. Now, I will be trying to demonstrate some of the differences. As you might expect, there's not a whole lot other than Kid just walks in and then the scene plays out almost identically. Yeah, down to the dialogue. Everything's pretty much the same. It's just ever so slightly different. So yeah, we're going to skim through here somewhat quickly here, since we've already read all this dialogue. By the way, there was one other mod that I downloaded. I won't be talking about it because it's a spoiler just to even mention it. And it's a very minor thing, but it's to maintain the integrity of the story and the integrity of the tone of a specific scene later on. I will demonstrate why I made the change after we watch the scene, but I could not believe it when I saw that there was even a mod for this, because I hadn't gotten there yet. I hadn't seen what sacrilege they had brought. But the one thing I think I would like that I haven't seen yet is a higher fidelity recording for the music. Like, they did like minor cleanups and stuff like that, but I don't think they're using like super high-end like FLAC audio for this game. And that's one thing I noticed, because I have the FLAC files for the Chrono Cross soundtrack, and they sound substantially better than playing the game via emulator that I was before. And at least from the opening theme, the Scars of Time, I haven't noticed any major changes to that song, though I don't think that one was going to be touched up all that much. There are 2 songs on the original soundtrack that were live recordings. That is the opening theme and the ending theme. I think everything else was done in software, so any of the noise cleanup they were doing with any of those should be minor, and to be honest, I haven't noticed anything as far as the soundtrack goes. But the FLAC does sound better. Anyway, time to settle our score. This does play out slightly differently, because the whole point of the scene on the path where we brought Kid was for Kid to have her fight with Lynx. But Lynx apparently has no interest in fighting Kid. And unlike the scene earlier on in the game where we picked up Nikki, and I didn't even really mention it, but Nikki was in the fight as well. I wasn't controlling Nikki in that fight, but he was there. Anyway, first things first, I'm not going to cheese this fight as much as I did in the first attempt. but I am still going to kind of demonstrate things and try and teach you a little something. Now, what I want to do here is using a turn element can make a much bigger change than just changing the elemental color of something. In this case, I have Nikki. For example, just strictly for example purposes, I wanted to use a white elemental attack, and it's not Nikki, it's Guile. He's black innate. How this would work out, if you look up at the top of the screen there, we have one black circle in the field. If we decided to use turn white on Guile, and then used a white element with him, we would actually be increasing our damage by 50% just by using this one element. It would push the black off the field. That'll remove a negative 12.5%. It would add a white piece to the field effect. That's plus another 12.5%. It would change the innate element of Guile, meaning that instead of doing 12.5% less with a white element because he was the opposite black, he would do 12.5% more, so that's another 25%, for a total of 50% additional damage just by casting this one element on him. In this particular case, it's going to be 37.5, but still, that's one buff for that significant increase in damage output. Now, it is indicated, if you look at the very corner of each of the character screens, they all have a little cutoff on the bottom left and the top right. Well, the top right will show a turn color element if you happen to have one on. This is also going to increase the physical damage you can do, but of course, Nikki's not much for a physical fighter anyway, so it doesn't make a huge bit of difference. Alright, so we've done that, and now we're going to hit Photon Ray. Now, it's still not going to do a massive amount of damage because it doesn't do a lot. I think Lynx has pretty good magical defense as is. So we're going to go in here, attack a few times. Unfortunately, I was hoping to get my turn off so that I could get dash and slash in before he casted the white element, but that's fine. Now, you'll notice the little white square above Nikki. That indicates he's inflicted with a status effect. In this case, it's anti-white, though he doesn't currently have a turn, so let's just do that real quick. And we'll go over to him. If I had a white element, I would not be able to cast it, though I don't think he has another white element to demonstrate that with, so we're just not going to bother. We will have Poshul attack a few more times here. And sure, we'll go for Photon Ray. You could go for something else, but I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. He's pretty close. As you can see, he's already sagging. Though when he's sagging, he can cast Hell Soul, which can inflict instant death. In this case, I've put him in his counter loop, so he's not able to do that. But grand finale, finish it off. Always nice to see the guitar shot actually worked as a finisher. Yay, nice buffs on that one. And nobody else got anything. Well, craps on that. Not that I'll be using any of them anyway. I talked about the name change on this, but I didn't talk about what it does. It's confusing. It's only going to come up at one point in the game later for a strategy that I learned from a speed run. Other than that, it's just not necessarily a good choice. It's kind of niche how you would ever want to use it, and it's not explained very well, so just avoid using it for now. There are 3 levels of them. There's a lesser, a middle, and a greater version of them. But yeah, just don't use them. They're not really all that good. I live right now. So the FMV should look a little bit better now. It should look a little smoother in the animation, and I think they've actually extended the size of the screen, so you should see a little bit more. Oh, by the way, since I'm here, there's another mod. I don't know how this had to be a mod. You notice how the sidebars are like a gradient of blue for some reason? Do you want me to turn them black? There's a mod for that. It's literally just a picture, I'm sure, that they run over top of it, but, you know, black is normally what you would see here. It's up to you guys. It doesn't really bother me all that much. It's just really weird because there's very few situations where that would happen. But yeah, anyway, yeah, we saw that cutscene again. It's still something I can't really talk about because of spoilers, so we'll just keep all those images in mind, and eventually we will figure out what all of that means. It's not speculation or prediction, it's history. Kind of a paradox, that. What is it you want to ask me, huh? Well, things seem to be playing out the same here. Well, you had me on the ropes. Wasn't really a whole lot of options left to us here. Safer place, huh? Now, even though we didn't come here with Kid on this path, she's still not just escaping on her own. She is allowing us to kind of come with her and, you know, make our escape together. Still blocked in. Now, if you remember from what we heard about talking to some of the people in town, Karsh was friends with Dario growing up. And Dario, of course, being friends and later engaged to Riddell, all three of them must have been pretty close. Having Karsh here kind of makes a lot of sense. He would have been close with Riddell. Not you. What the hell is Poshel doing? Are you twitching over there? What exactly is she doing? It just looks weird. She's just vibrating. Okay. Now, I don't believe the rest of the scene changes all that much. I will show the process, but we'll skim through a lot of the dialogue. Yeah, we heard about your deal, though I don't think it's going to go over all that well. We broke in here, kidnapped your daughter, used her as a hostage, and you'll just let us go if we, let her go. Probably not going to happen. Just a thought. Well, we survived it last time. Surge does try to warn her. And again, Kid does push Riddell out of the way. Even though it's hard to tell for sure. It's gotta be one hell of a backdrop to fall as she did onto, into the water there. Hopefully she spun around and landed on her feet. That would probably be the easiest, safest way of doing that. Like, I've dove off of, high diving boards before, and I've still managed, like, my form's never all that great, but, you still manage to hurt your head sometimes diving off a higher spot, and this would be a lot higher than that. So I would recommend going feet first as opposed to head first. But that's just a thought. Now, why exactly have you been waiting a long time for me? Why do you think I'm an assassin of time? And what does the chrono trigger have to do with anything? Well, we have a whole game to figure that out. I'm just gonna let it fly for now. There's a lot bigger splash for Poshel than anyone else. Now, they still do let us go into the menu here, even though we don't have Kid to unequip. But that is indeed what I did on the other path, because, well, we kind of want all the stuff that she had. I'll probably be dismantling the iron dagger that she had in order to get the iron necessary to make a sword for Glenn over on that path. Well, our friends are outside. Let's... It takes longer to do it with fast forward on. Jeez. Finally woke up. Interestingly enough, Korsha was there this time as well, even though he didn't take us there the first time. Now, I don't think there's any indication of why he was there or how he knew to be there, considering he never took us there in the first place on this path. This is Nikki's path. Interesting, huh? But yeah, that's just something that they never explained, to be quite honest. In my first playthrough, the characters, or the path that I chose was Nikki's path. It was the first thing that appealed to me when I realized, oh, I gotta find a way into Viper Manor. That was, for some reason, the first one I remembered. I barely even remembered where Guile was. Didn't realize he was a path in. I knew of Pierre, and I figured he'd probably get me in, but this one seemed more interesting. So we gotta find some Hydra humor, but they're extinct now. Yeah, every part of them is valuable. I forgot to look up in between episodes to double check what I believed about humor being the viscous fluid in the eye. I'm pretty sure that's it, but as I said before, it's been so long since I studied any type of biology. God, that's got to go back to high school. Yeah, that's a long, long time ago. Yeah, as I said the first time that we went through this, there are 3 unique characters per path, and I want to show all of them. Out of all of the choices that I'm going to make, there is one thing that I'm not going to get, and that is a level 7 tech for one of the characters on this path, because I would have to play through the entire game a second time in order to get it, and to be honest, it's on a character I'm not going to use anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Well, looks like Harley's still here. Let's throw on fast forward so the dialogue moves a little faster here. We've already seen this scene. I don't think there's anything new or special here to go over. But yeah, in the PlayStation version, her sprite is still visible here after she disappears. Yeah, she completely vanishes this time. I don't see any reference. You know what? There's almost a little bit of pink on the bed sheets, kind of at the top part. Kind of a little bit of red there. I think that might be kind of a holdover. There was more of an like a ghastly, ghostly outline before, but yeah. Anyway, let's go talk to Kid. I don't need to talk to all my characters this time. We already did that. Let's go over here. It gives us this amulet, but what are we going to do with it? No hydras left back in the world. Can't get to the mainland. The 1 in a million chance to try and save her. What are you going to do? Well, I feel bad after not letting her join this time, so gotta find a way to save her this time. And for making, the moral choice, Korsha comes along with us. He can't possibly live up to Glenn, but Korsha comes with us. No. We kind of established this on the other path. Nobody has any idea where we should start looking for something that apparently doesn't exist. All we have left is the girl's anvil. Only we had some kind of clue. Maybe you should go see the shaman. The shaman might be able to give you some clues from the amulet. Interestingly enough, we don't have to do the whole sequence in the house this time because, well, they direct us to go over there right away. They're like the mayor chief. Worth a try. Let's decide what to do with the boat. I am going to collect the treasure in here off screen. All of the same. Here's a new scene. Luna. Oh, what? Oh, hello. Yoink. Well, that was different. What's Mel up to? Okay, well that was interesting. I'm going to get all the treasure off screen. The only unique treasure to this path that wasn't on the other path is, well, technically there's a unique one. We actually get to keep the astral amulet this time. However, we don't get access to the frame that Machi gives us. It's just not something that we get to. We're not given it on this path, so you miss out on that one if you're really interested in them. I'm not, but to each their own. All right. Again, one from the trader. You don't actually have to trade for anything. You just go in, go out, and you get the pelvic bone. Skelly says some things I ignore, and then we move on. Now, we've already talked to everyone, so let's just go straight up to the... Actually, I'll skip through this scene because it's no different, but I'll meet you up by the shaman's place where we can actually progress. Okay, we're back, and yeah, I think most of this plays out pretty much the same. It's a very similar sequence if it's any different at all. Young and gentle air. Yeah, it's the same intro. They talk about the wind, and they go over the fact that Surge is dead in this world without even fading away at this point. We just, oh, that happened. Anyway, we want to return to our original world. Land of Genesis. A dimensional distortion that connects the two. It may be possible to save the girl stricken by the Hydra poison. That is, if extinct Hydra still exist in your world. So they're telling us that we need to find the distortion, and then we might be able to get back to our world. And if we get back to our world, there might be a Hydra there. Now, you'll notice how they were saying here that the Dragon Tier is required to set things up in Fort Dragonia, which is probably why Matcha assumed that that was being brought to Fort Dragonia on the other path. Because we know it has indeed been stolen on this path. Do you have any other things on here? No, you don't. You just say the same things as before. That's fine. And you say the same things. All right. Perfect. Let us move on. Go and run over here. See if there's any new or interesting people to talk to. Get out of the way. I guess we'll pick up this treasure while we're here. I was going to do this off screen, but I don't know if I ever used that feathery dress. I don't think I ever have. A lot of the other things that aren't males I don't really use in the game. There isn't much here, but feel free. Now, she went and grabbed that frame out of here, but on this path, she will not give it to us. So there's that, I guess. Let's go downstairs. If you remember, on the other path, Mel was down here. And she did show up with that cat before. Yeah, you're still just trying to concentrate. Nothing special about that. Okay. I'll just meet you down by the boat. Okay, we're back. I went and picked up the green tinkler from the dwarf. Now that we can go back into the bar there, I guess it is. Now that we've got all the stuff that we need out of the town here, and I did my shopping, which is purchasing up to 3 photon rays, up to 3 meteorites, and up to 3 gravity blows. Ready anytime. It's kind of weird, this. I think we're stuck into a sequence after this, so if you haven't purchased some of the things that you need, then you might want to still be here. If you plan on using Portia as a character, then you're probably going to want to forge one of the weapons over at the shop there, because they do make weapons for him here. I believe his is the Iron Lure. But I'm ready. I don't think I'm going to use Portia. At least I don't think so. I haven't actually planned out what party I'm using, to be honest. Oh, by the way, I've spoiled multiple times that Portia's going to join the party. It's Portia. It's not particularly important. It's not like he's a major character or anything like that. There are so many characters in this game that... and most of the characters that have portraits end up joining. Not all of them, but the vast majority of them. I would say a good 80+% of characters with portraits end up joining at some point. Or they're like major villains or something like that. Now this plays out a little bit differently, because we don't have Matcha this time. Don't be a hardhead. It's not like we're robbing from anyone. Besides, no one else is here. What I'm trying to say is, here, keep it. You can't bribe me with some... Dragonian's Dragon's Glory. It's a drink. Some booze. Snag some from Ma's kitchen. Beef. Special permission this time. Well, each of the family members has a different way of dealing with the dockhand here. Pretty quick for a kid. Can't do this alone. Temporarily joined your party. So it's not like he's permanent. He is going to show up, and if you can see his stats, he's more on the strength side of things. Let's go for something different. Nikki's not great. Lena's better. None of these characters are particularly good. You know what? Screw it. We'll just take Lena. She's probably the best choice at this stage. I'm not big on Portia as a character, but he is there, and you can swap him in if you want. Oh yeah, so he is going to allow us to go back to Kultov anyway, even though he said he wasn't going to. Oh yeah, I had wanted to double check up here. Please go on the boat. Does anyone around here say anything? I probably should have left Nikki in the party. Actually, you know what? I am going to throw Nikki in the party. Okay, so there is a cutscene here. This I wasn't actually aware of, but I was considering stopping by since there was a scene with Guile. And yeah. Back when the gig's over. I'm not going to go searching for you again. Thing is, there's no gig without you. Aren't you the star of the show? Oh, it's not much of a scene. It's just a very short. You guys are going to do your best. What do you say to... Oh, there's another scene here. Cool. Definitely come back. Yep. But if the gig's already over, if you're gone, though. Postponed indefinitely. Well, what can you do? Let's see what happens when we show him off to his fans. Okay. Oh, we can get in there. And she swoons. All right, we can get in here. I was not familiar with this. Can we do anything in here? Yo, that mirror actually works. Cool. I don't think I ever came in here before. No, there doesn't seem to be anything. Why would you make it so that you have to have Nikki in order to get in there, and yet it doesn't do anything? You'd think there would be a scene or something. I can't imagine any other party member that would make it a scene, but as long as you don't have Portia in your party, it's faster to go back here and say, take Portia with you and swap the party members here. But, yeah. Poshul is actually going to be good upcoming. So, yeah, we're going to do that and go their way. I might switch her out at some point. Move out of the way, please. But yeah, we don't have access to the boat right now. We have no control over it. And if you come over here... there's still the minor Helena scene. But you'll notice we don't have access to Cure Plus, Heal All, or any of the other level 3 elements. I have no idea why this is a thing, and it makes this path a little bit more difficult, to be quite honest, considering not only do we not have access to the better healing and the better attacking elements, but we also have to do a whole dungeon in the meantime. So, yeah. What else? You can't get the things. I'm going to go recruit Greco off screen, and then I will be right back. Okay, we're back, and we've partied up, and I decided for, I don't know, for something different, we'll put in Greco. It's not like he's all that great, but I've already got an iron weapon for him. I am currently on the weakest of the spatulas for Lena, but that's not a huge deal at the moment. She doesn't have a particularly high strength stat. But there is something that we can do on both paths at this point, and that's come back to Viper Manor. We can actually go right back into the place that we just managed to escape from. And the first step in that is to bust up this guy. Now, you don't have to do this now, but I highly recommend you do it now. I believe this is the same fight as, yeah, Roborg, same fight that we fought a couple of inside the area. Nothing particularly special about this. We will use the opportunity to show off one of Greco's techs here. Greco is Red Elemental, and being a luchador, he has luchador and wrestling-inspired techs. Nice clothesline. Other than that, yeah, he's not particularly special. Neither is Lena, for that matter, but... you want to do this first on either path, and the reason you want to do this first is because now the gate is unlocked and can be opened. if you don't do it this way, you might be shit out of luck and have to take the long way around twice. Now, ideally, you would take the path that you didn't take the time before. In this case, because I don't have access to the boat, I can't go to the back of Viper Manor and go up the bluffs. I have to re-go through Shadow Forest, but there's a whole bunch of things that we can do over in Viper Manor now, including getting a new party member. So next time we're going to head back in there. I'm going to cut out all the backtracking through Shadow Forest since we've already seen it. And before we go try to save Kid, we should do, you know, a little side quest here. Anyway, that's all for this one. And I'll see you guys next time.